AJ Harper again, and this is part two in my video series. I think it's just going to be, maybe I'll do a whole bunch more. I don't know. What question should you ask your publisher? I made an earlier video that's for people who are vetting publishers and making that decision. And I want to give you some questions to ask once you've signed the deal. So you don't want to ask all these questions at the same time. It can be overwhelming. Here's some stuff you might not have thought of. And as a reminder, I don't usually have empty bookshelves behind me, but I just moved into my new office at our lake house on Madeline Island, and I have to fill it. I'm actually not that great at design, so kind of been delaying it. But anyway, so what question should you ask your publisher when you've signed the deal? Some of these might be surprising to you. I want you to ask them, what is a sales number that would be a big win for them? So what would they be happy with? And let's split it into time periods. So ask them, in a perfect world, how many pre-orders would they love you to get? And how many books would they like you to sell at launch? And number three, in the first year. Make them give you numbers, what they are hoping to get from you. Don't leave it in this gray area. That gives you a starting point. And it also shows them that you're super interested in succeeding. Also, ask if you can find out some more about the sales team. So let's say you do have trade distribution with your publisher. And this could be for a top tier hybrid, or it could be for a traditional publisher. They're not used to authors even understanding this sales team process. So they might be surprised that you ask it, but I think you should ask. Ask them, when are they pitching the sales team or presenting the front list titles for your season? And what can you do for them to help them be ready for it and put their best foot forward? For example, they might need your entire manuscript a year out, and you should know. Don't fret if that's the case. Nobody's checking for errors or anything at that point. So just ask them, when are they going to do that, and what do you need to do for them so they can be ready for that? Then I want you to ask them how you can be involved in supporting the sales team and communicating with the sales team about all of your efforts during the pre-order stage. Maybe you could send a regular update. Maybe you could even ask to meet the sales team. Just let them know you want to be involved in that process. Too many authors are just sort of expecting all that to work, don't really know what's happening, and always waiting for their publisher to update them. And usually that means the editor they're working with. And editors have a lot of different jobs. They're not always the best people to be updating you about what's happening with the sales team. So you kind of got to get in there and assert yourself. Then you want to make sure you know the editorial schedule as soon as possible. They probably will not tell you that beyond the delivery date until they actually have a chance to look at the manuscript. And then they'll give you a schedule. But it's good for you to know. You want to make sure you understand each step. And then I want you to ask, how many ARCs, advanced reader copies, sometimes called galleys, can you get? You want to get as many as possible so you can use them in promotion. And then one question you must ask is, when are they submitting your book for trade review? Trade reviews are professional reviews in industry, publishing industry journals, Publishers Weekly, Kirkus, American Library Journal, Book List, Forward, and others. And if you don't ask, you don't even know if they're going to do it or not. So I want you to make sure you ask those questions. There's a bunch more, but these are some good ones to get started. And as a reminder, there's a free download. If you go to the description here, you can grab my publishing path matrix, which is like choose your own adventure to help you figure out a publishing path that works for you.